Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. I have a kind of a contemporary collection of cards today with the angel number oracles here. So we'll draw some angel numbers to see what is being reflected that way. We also have crystals, very excited about that. And then the journey. So this is kind of helping us on where we are on our path. And each day, hopefully, I feel like if you've been here, you can see that we have a pattern that generally goes through the week. So if you're new, I pick a grouping of cards that we use throughout the week. I always add a tarot deck. I have Thoth tarot today. This is like the ancient deck. And then I'm pairing it with all these kind of new age cards, which is really exciting. And before I turn on the camera, as always, I quieted my mind and tapped in. And the message that I heard is that there is deep information for all of us here. What I literally heard was all of our answers, all the answers to the questions that we have are available now. It's about us quieting and giving ourselves the space and the grace to receive the information that is here for us and very much wants to answer our questions. There's nothing being hidden. There is nothing that we cannot receive the information about. It's just that we have a tendency, I'm one of these people, I love a lot of information. So it's about quieting and receiving the answers to the questions that you have. So with that in mind, if you want to hold close any of the questions that you have, and we're going to go through and see if we can answer what we most need to know. That's my question. What do I most need to know in this moment as we start out this next week? And if you just heard that, I have an older home and that is my air conditioning unit popping in. So I don't have, this is the table that's always underneath all the cloths. So I don't have any cloth today. We're just gonna go with the natural wood and see if we can bring some grounding elements into our space today. All right, are you ready? Let's dive into what we most need to know. Interestingly, I'm really drawn to these number oracle. This is the angel number oracle by the Pulp girls. I have all of the, I think there's probably too many. Nope, it's only 3. So I have all of the cards. When you're interested in something, you'll find the description of any of the card decks. So if you want to purchase them, you can find out who created them. Okay, so let's begin the reading. Wow, so we have 666 with reflect. Anytime a number is doubled and then tripled, I feel like it's really trying to get our attention. And how beautiful is this? This is literally what I heard, is the importance of quieting. You can't reflect on something when you have like all this information coming in, I'm going to say like YouTube, and which I love YouTube, as you know, that's how you're seeing me here. But, all this information from outside sources, if you really want to know what is coming in for you, then you have to quiet your mind and reflect a bit on where you are and what you need to move forward, what it is that you're asking. I also feel like it's a little bit of a mirroring. That's what I'm hearing. So there's an importance, there's something going to be reflected back, I feel like, to us today. And I lit a candle and wow, I really made a mess with the ash. If you've ever lit a candle and let the ash fall, it sometimes leaves a stain. That's what it just did right there. So isn't that interesting? Like that, the ashes from something, that shadow, that residue can hold on in places where you don't always want it to be. And I think that may be part of what this reflection is about. Now we have synergy and stability. So we have a lot of 4s coming in. Interesting. So what is synergy really? I think that is the synchronization of energy. I'm going to go to the guidebook to make sure that I'm right on that one. But the synchronization of energy, bringing in energy and making sure you're making good use of it, right? Of the energy that you have. And stabilities. 4s are always around stability, and this is the doubling of that. So I'm seeing the beginning of this week asking us to reflect on the things that we want to have, and then find the connections in what we currently have and what we're asking for to create some sort of balance. So that's what I'm getting from all these cards. Just going to go to Synergy real quick and make sure that I'm getting it correctly. Yeah, support networks, community growth, deeper connection, standing. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I did get that one, what the girls wanted me to know about that. All right, so I'm going to pull a journey card to go along with these 3 and ask for more information, please, about this day and month in June. And I really like these cards. Most of these cards are gifts. You are enough. How beautiful. And higher self. Well, both of these 2 look like they're really talking to each other. Actually, all of it feels like it's talking to each other. I love where we're going with that. Really tap and reflect on what it is you want, where you're going, where have you been. Let's make sure we create these connections so we feel a little bit more stable in a time that feels somewhat unstable. And as we do that, one of the things that stops us from being stable is this feeling like we've done something wrong or that we're not good enough. We've always had, these kind of belief systems, right, rolling in the back of our mind. It's not like they're brand new, but I think it's time to resolve all this. I think there's been a lot of old patternings that really, I think they've just always been in the collective field. Like there was a belief that we weren't enough. And it kind of blocks you. This kind of distraction blocks you from tapping into your highest wisdom and guidance. And I think that with this, there's a quote from Ram Dass that says, our whole spiritual transformation brings us to the point where we realize that in our own being, we are truly enough, right? So through this, that could be part of the reflection. Like, why is it? Because we have these things that we search for on the outside of us. And why is that? Why is it that we need to look on the outside for information? And part of it is it's reflecting something back to us. It's either reflecting something beautiful or something we have to work on, right? But at the same time, when we're questioning ourselves, sometimes people kind of throw their baggage on us because they can't deal with their stuff, and then we take it on as if it was, our failing, and it's really not. So wherever you are enough, and it's time to feel into your heart and synergize that heart-mind coherence, because your higher self is wanting to tell you something. That's what I feel like from this card here. And there is a message here from Deepak, and it's the higher self is whispering to you softly in the silence between your thoughts. And I think we kind of always know that, but the silence between the thoughts is contemplation or a time of reflection. So there are some really big points I feel like going on in this week, asking us to kind of release some of the garbage that's going on in the world. Now, we've been saying that for a long time, but I mean really, truly. Because sometimes we say, yeah, I'm not going to watch that, but then we don't really give ourselves the time to reflect. It says your higher self exists outside of time. They are wise, aligned with your path and purpose, always gently supporting you and calling you toward them. That's an interesting way to put it, because they're saying them, like there's more than one of you or more than one part of you. And that is really true. There are. There's the energetic body. There's the spiritual body. There's all these different layers of us, but we don't think of it in terms of having multiple aspects of the self. So it says, and here is your higher self is your guide, your mentor, your counselor, and is always there for you in times of need. or when you're shining your brightest. So that's really interesting information coming through. So lastly, we're going to go and ask for what Crystal would like to share. Now, I brought a really interesting collection of crystals out. I was kind of excited. I just intuitively grabbed all this. Selenite green. So we always start with selenite. So these crystals here, if you're unfamiliar, these are selenite. I use these because they don't take on or carry, like some of these crystals can pull in energy, like this is clear quartz, and you can use this to amplify another crystal, whatever is next to it, or you can ask for the amplification of the energy. But selenite doesn't do that. It is a really interesting crystal that you can use to clear out or to keep energy clear, or it can amplify, but it doesn't actually it's my understanding anyway, that it's not really programmed the way other crystals can be programmed. So let's find out what it's bringing into this reading. It says that life is a river of dreams. Simply relax and enjoy the journey. There we go. So I feel like we have bookends here on telling us to like go and ride the river, the flow, not a raging rapid, but get on your raft and gently float down the river, because it's asking us to enjoy where we are and the journey. The crystal is bringing in healing and imaginings and daydreams. It says the message from the card is, over the coming days you will find yourself daydreaming, envisioning your life as you would truly love it to be. I think we had a moment last week that it asked us to do that, like to what is it that we would really truly want, and to envision that. So this is calling part of that back in as well. Your thoughts are bathed in tranquil pleasures of love, romance, ideal relationships, whatever it is, whatever fantasy that's coming to your mind, that is your highest vision. You're entering a time of great joy, creativity, and tranquility. This time, your dreams and wishes really do come true. So keep an open heart and a mind, and trust that magical things are here for you. All right. Well, I love that. I almost don't want to go any further, but we're going to, because we're bringing in the Thoth Tarot. And let's see what it has to say. Okay. So I'm asking if it's upside down or right side up. I'm kind of feeling like I need to bring in cards that are right side up. So this is another 4, because we have this 4s coming here, and it's completion. This is 4 of Wands, and for me, typically I read it as stability, but let's use the words that it has here around completion. And I think this is bringing in some Virgo. We have both of no, this is Aries, the Ram, the fire sign of Aries, and that's what we get when we have Wands. So we have 2 sets of Wands here. And interesting, this is 4, and then we're going back to 3. So 4 is when we've got all the stakes for the house in the ground, and we've got that foundation really set. So now we've got a foundation which creates the stability. And then it goes back into virtue, which is 3. So it's asking us to go back after we've created the stability or the foundation of something. It's wanting us to go back and reflect a little bit, because 3 is an aspect here of 6, and it wants us to really ask, why is it that we have created something the way we have, and is it serving the reason, like, for why we created something, whether it's the profession that we're doing, or the location that we're living, or the group of friends that we have. And those are stability sectors, which is why I'm bringing all those up. And it's asking us why these people, why this town, why this place? Were we drawn to there because of some sort of higher awareness? Or were we shoved there by somebody else and we really don't like where we are? There's a lot going on, because this is asking us to go ahead and dream into being the thing. If it's not where we want, which we're not going to know until we reflect on it, if it is not what we want, it's time to create. So I'm going to ask for, I feel like these are 3 cards here. I'm going to go ahead and take them. Yeah, they were kind of opening up in an interesting way. All right, so we have Cups energy, which is around our intuitive self. So it is asking us to step into that world, to that watery world of our emotions and our intuition. And the Queen is the ultimate of having that the best of your intuitive self, right? It comes in when you're feeling really good about where you are, when you're very comfortable about where you are. And I love that this is right here in the middle. And then it has fortune. So this is the 10. And I'm trying to think of what this card is. It says that trumps and swords. So this must be pentacles. And the 10 of pentacles, when the 10 of pentacles comes out, it's like the receiving of all your wishes and dreams, but manifesting it into this world. So interesting way to end this, because we also have futility. And when something is futile, like it's like there's no ending in sight. It just kind of keeps going on and on and on, and there's no real purpose in it. So we have completion, virtue, with this highly intuitive card here that is asking us to stay in our heart space, right? That we're enough, and to go into our highest wisdom and guidance here. Because there's some beautiful things. What we really want is here for us. It wants to come in, but sometimes we don't know exactly what that is until we give ourselves the time to reflect. And futility, the 7 of swords to me is really about choices and options. When you don't have any choices, or when you have too many choices and options, sometimes you just get stuck in the choice and never really make the decision of what it is that you want to do. And so it's asking us kind of not to go into that space. That this here is around communication, it's around your ideas, it's around things that are moving around in the air. And so things are going to come in. And I see this little nod here to an aspect of the moon. So keep that in mind. It's like it's pointing, the center here is pointing towards the moon. And so I feel like there's some sort of aspect here that's asking you to stay within your heart space and not get tied up in things that just kind of keep you going around in a circle and not really making a decision. So I hope this all makes sense for you today. Thank you for joining me for this daily message here at the Art of the Oracle. If you're interested in a private reading, reach out. I'd love to help you out with that. Until tomorrow, have an amazing day. Bye now.